Welcome everyone to this new session. The last session, we were able to put in all the visuals, and this session, we're just going to be focusing on the look and feel, making sure that our dashboard is ready for publishing. All right. With that, let's start with we're going to start here. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. And so we just need to kind of there's a couple of things we can do differently, but I just want to do basics in this video. So here you can want to take a look at the size. You can have a look at the size here. Ideally, I want the A to start at 20, right? This is the distance between this the edge of the page and this particular visual. And then here I want it to start probably at about 140, and for the size I can just I'm just gonna make it do that manually. And then yeah, that's really good. And also I can actually reduce that as well. I'm not aiming for really very I don't want to make this video more on the design part. I just want to do the basics, and then in our subsequent videos, when we have time to dive into Power BI, we can go into more specificity. So with that, so let's drop these right here, and then we're just gonna make this look really nice. I'm gonna make that bigger so that way you can see it really well. So if you focus here, so let's quickly see what we can do differently. So here we can essentially switch the background there, and see we don't have any background. First of all, let's turn off the background here. I'm just going to quickly do that. Effect, turn off background. We'll see we turn that off. And then for the slider itself, you can see the slider, we just make it blue, right? And then for the title, the title is great. We just make this is 14. We want it semi-bold. So Sigor UI semi-bold, and then we'll centralize it, and then we'll just make this to be the background. And we'll make the font color to be white. That's great. And this as well, for the values here, I want the background to be blue as well. So I'm just going to go to the values here, the background, and I want the font color to be white. Okay, that is great. So I'm just going to replicate that to other filters I have here. So I'm going to just click on this, select format painter, and then select this. Right, so voila. So that's it. This doesn't have a header, so I'm going to add like a title to it. So we're going to call this rainfall category. Alright, so it's looking great. We can leave it as it is, and also we just replicate that here as well. We'll do the format painter. If you are used to any Microsoft application, you know how the format painter works. You just copy the format and can paste it on the we copy the format and we paste it right here. You can see this is looking great as well. That's all we need to do there. And in this case, we're just going to drag this. I just want this to start, all of this to start at 10. So I'm just going to look at the properties here, position, and then vertical, I want it at 10. So let's do 10. And you see everything is starting at 10. And let's look at the distance also. I want okay, perfect. I'm just gonna have to undo again, and then click outside, and then I'm gonna drop this one a little bit closer. All right, and I'm gonna drop this one a little bit closer so we have room for our logo. Actually, I can space it a little bit here. Just use whatever, make it look good in whatever shape of format you want it. Right, so in this case, I'm just going to select each of them, So make it to your taste. That's what I really meant. So yeah, I selected all the filters. So I'll just come to format. No, not really format. Okay, yeah, format. Actually, I come to this format tab, click on align, and then I distribute horizontally. So kind of make sure that the distance between each of the pieces. It will use this the first tile and the last one, and then based on those visual, then you can centralize the ones in between. All right. So now that is done, and this is looking great. So let's focus on the other ones as well. For this guy right here, we just take it a little bit up, okay, and then we can drag it up to the end of these filters that we had here, and then we can make sure the distance makes sense. And then we can kind of reduce this, and we'll take a look at the size here. You can always say the size. This is about one. We can make this one 1.3 basically. Let's make it 1.3. All right. Actually, we'll make it 1.350 or 1.340. Okay, 1.340 is good. And you can see this is 350, right? So we probably would do, let's do 370, right? And see if we can get this one also to 370. Okay, we want the eye to kind of be the same across board. So if we do this, so probably 300 would be good. Yeah, probably 300 will suffice. So let's say 300. Okay, and then we can do this as well as 300. Okay, so maybe we'll have some room there. So I'll do like 320. All right. And then this as well, we'll make it 320. Again, feel free to use whatever. Just make it look nice. That's really the goal here. And then for this one and this one, we just make all of 320 as well. Okay, so we just do one by one. So 320 in terms of the height, and then 320 here as well. Okay. All right. So now with that, we can basically drag this here, and then we drag this here. Right. So it's looking great, and then we just make sure that this guy is great. Great. Okay, we can still see the distance. We can make this a little bit. So let's see what we can do with this guy. Let's look at so we can call this maybe 670 in terms of the width, and then we'll call this also 670. Oh, 670 will be too long for that, so that's a 650. Okay, 650 is good, so we reduce this also to 650. And then we can just kind of drag and make sure that it makes sense. Okay, looking good. Okay, that's everything is looking great. We can drag this a little bit down. Okay, that's great. And then for this guy, we just make sure that it also looks great, and then we just adjust this accordingly. So for that, we'll come to here, and then we just first of all, we'll remove the background. Remove the background, and then for this one, this is great. For this one, this is great for now, and then we just look for what we can do differently. We're okay with the padding. We can just reduce the padding to, let's say, 8, and then we need to adjust the, let's see, background. Let's fill this up. Okay, it's not looking bad. Okay, so we can basically leave this one as is, and then what we're gonna do is that we look at the value, call out, and then we just change the value to white and we'll see how that looks like. Okay, so we change all of that to white, so it's looking great. Maybe we can just adjust this to 26. Okay, and and that's looking great. It's semi-bold, that's great. And then we just need to change that labeling to white as well. All right, so that's looking great. Okay, awesome. And then for the background, let's make this. No, let's turn off the background, and I think that's pretty much it. What we want to do. Let's see if we have background there. We can turn off. Okay, beautiful. So we turn off this background. You can see it's looking great. One thing I just want to add quickly. So if you look at the call out, it gives you some options here. And then if you look at the multi, let's see. So we just see what we can do to make it. Yeah, we can add the accent bar. I like to add the accent bar. Okay, and we can just look at that on the left, and then we can make it a little bit bigger so it's kind of very obvious. You can see, and we can change the color to, yeah, you can change the color to deep blue. So it's looking great. You can see it's looking great. We just need to see total revenue makes sense. This one we need to change the total trips. Let's quickly do that. So we switch these over to total trips. That's great. Average fare, number of days. We just say number of days. Okay. Call this number of days. All right. Now that's really it. Then we just need to add our logo here. So what we do for that is that we come here and have what we call a blank. I like to use a blank. You can use rectangular box as well, but I just like a blank. Okay, it gives you some option. Now with this blank, it's going to overlay these filters, which is not great. So we have to click on this selection and then drag this button down. Okay, so that way we can still be able to access. We can still access our filters here, which is great. Now with these blank, we just need to make some changes. Okay, quickly. So you click on style, and then we don't need to adjust the text. We'll off the icon button. The border as well will off it, which is great. But we just put in the fill, and then we'll call this blue. Okay, so we say blue, and we can make it more transparent. Okay, just a little bit more. Again, feel free to use, just make sure that it's visually appealing. Okay, so that's great. So that's really all we need to do here. You can see everything is looking great. So then we just put in a text here, and then this text from our wireframe, we see it's called DSP Analytics. But we can switch it because it's DSP and for New York City, right? So we say DSP New York City, and then we call it Analytics. Okay, that's really what we want. And then we'll increase the font to about 36, and then we'll switch this over to semi-bold. We're actually bolding it, and then we'll remove the background. For us to do that, we come to effect, and then we'll switch off the background. Okay, and then so I think that's about it. And then we kind of just drag it to where we want it. And also we centralize it, right? So we make it centralized, and then we can also still drag it a little bit. So we still need to put like a little bit of a logo there. All right, so now that we've done that, yeah, we can just drag this. Oh, drag in another visual that we didn't want to drag. But this is looking great, guys. It's looking great. And then we also add an icon, which is more like a logo here, but it's just what we have in our wireframe. So it's looking, as you can see, and just gonna drag it here, and then we can still drag our, yeah, the name of our dashboard and the company. We can drag it a little bit further, and then we can drop a line here as well, right? So this is already looking great, right? But if you just want to drop a line here, you can as well. So let's quickly do that. You can see a line is here, so we'll turn that 90-degree. Okay, and then we just increase the width. We increase it to about see, this is now very big. Okay, so we just kind of reduce that to maybe about 5, and then that's it, right? And then that's it. That's all we needed to do. Look at it. It's looking really, really great. Guys, this is all we need to do for the design. This is looking fabulous. We can try it out. Try, if you select July, you see your data is switching. All right, this is great. All right, and then if you select dry as well, you can see it's working quite well. And then if you check different temperature, you can see as well it's also adjusting accordingly. So all that is great. So we are done with all of our design. The next design we're gonna do is then gonna be to publish to the web, where we can then consume. So publish and consume. With that, I want to say thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.